So sales, what does it mean? Most people think that sales people are born. I don't think sales is a natural born thing. I think everything you can do to be a great salesperson, you can learn it. There are some people, maybe myself included in that, that are born with a natural ability to connect with new people. And that helps when you're trying to sell. But everything that you need to sell can be learned, because sales is a process, not a one thing that you have or you don't. So one of the things that I always recommend agencies to figure out what you're doing every day, every week, every month to get better at what you do. Selling, training, everything you do, you got to keep getting better. Champions, when they get to the top, they don't stop practicing. They don't stop learning. They keep improving. So you need to learn. You need to keep learning. You need to keep taking the time to improve yourself, no matter how good you are. I have some people in this call that are great salespeople, run great agencies, and some people that are not even in insurance that are very good at what they do. And one of the things that gave them to be great is they continue improving. They continue learning. Every day I spend 30, 45 minutes learning new things, and normally related to what we do. So some of the things that I have done to continue improving is read books. Somebody in this group was talking in his social media yesterday about reading. Reading is the most important thing you can do to continue improving yourself. So some of the books that I have read, and I'll be talking about here, because everything that I have learned, everything that I have done, I'm not that smart to create them. I have learned it from either books or from other successful people that have done it right, and they have teach me how to do it, or I have learned from them. So some of the books that I have read that are excellent for the selling part of insurance is Sell or Be Sold, Grant Cardone, one of the greatest salesperson, I guess, and The Wolf of Wall Street, Jordan Belfort. We're going to be talking a little bit about what they talk in their books, but please take the time to read those books, listen to the audios, watch the videos. Keep getting better. Don't think that because you know something, you cannot get better at it. So selling is a process, and you need to understand the human brain so you understand how to connect with the human brain. Selling, when people buy something, is because they made a decision, and our brain is very old, thousands of years old. It's still the same brain. We actually had two brains, and they're completely separate. And in order to make a decision, both brains need to connect. One of the things you need to understand is that in order to make a decision, we have one brain that is more logical, and they have one brain that is more emotional. They both need to connect to make a decision. So our job as a salesperson is to facilitate the customer to make that decision, to pull that trigger, to make the purchase. So I need you guys to understand that when we're selling, we are not pushing a product towards somebody. We are educating them, and we're helping them facilitate that decision of, yes, I want to move to you guys. So our brain is, like I said, very old. So the way we were created thousands and thousands of years ago was a fight or flight kind of mentality. That's how our brain works. People try to avoid confrontation, and nobody likes to be sold. But there is one thing you need to understand. Everybody loves to buy. So you need to understand, people want to buy, but they don't want to be sold. So let me tell you guys something that I explain my guys very often. So for example, let's say you go to your favorite store. You need some black pants, and you're walking into JCPenney or wherever you buy your clothes. And then the lady at the front greets you, and she's like, hey, hi, good morning. How can I help you? What is our natural answer? We block them. I don't want you to sell me. So, oh, hi, good morning. No, I'm good. Just looking. BS. You're not just looking. You went to buy black pants because you need black pants. but you don't want that person to sell you the pens. You want to buy the pens. So what do? You start walking around until you find the pens. And if you don't find them, you're a little ashamed, but you go and you ask somebody. So you need to understand this. This is human. We don't want to be sold. We want to buy. So our job is to educate people, find those gaps, find those things they don't have, those needs they don't even know they have, and educate them, provide the information on how they can solve those problems they don't even knew they had before they talk to you. So educate them, show them what they need to have, what problems they have they don't even know, and show them the solution. That is the process of selling in my eyes. So one of the good things that you need to understand is that insurance is a very basic, very boring thing. Nobody wakes up in the morning, oh, I want to buy insurance. So selling based on Jordan Belfort mentality is a straight line. And when you start from 0, or let's say 1 to 10, 1 is hell no. I don't want whatever you have to offer. Stop calling me. Get the hell out of here. And 10 is oh my gosh, I love it so much. I want it. I need it. I don't care what I need to do to get it. Now, the beautiful thing about what we do, we don't need a 10. We don't even need a 9. People doesn't need to love insurance. We're looking for something like 7, where people says, oh, I kind of need insurance. Yeah, you guys are okay. I mean, it's not too bad. Here's my credit card. Boom. That's all we're looking for. Maybe 6, 7. Everybody's triggered to take that action is different, but you don't need a complete 10. Nobody's going to go with a 10. People wants to buy a Ferrari, a Lamborghini, a big house with a pool, but nobody wants to buy insurance. So what you need to understand is that the best salespeople can move people from that 1 through 10, probably 2 or 3 points. Nobody is going to get anybody from 1, I hate that, don't ever call me again, to a 7, 8, or 9. Here's my credit card. So you need to figure out who you're talking to, get to know your customer, and you need to figure out how you can move that person maybe 2 or 3 steps towards that purchasing, and then move along. If you're talking with a 1 or 2 or 3, don't even waste your time. Thank you very much, sir. Unfortunately, I cannot give you what you are needing at this time. I would love to help you in the future, but right now, this is the best I can do. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day. Move on. If you're talking with somebody who is willing to listen, maybe a 3 or 4, yeah, I kind of like it, but I don't know. Let me think about it. Your job as a salesperson is to move that to a, yeah, well, that makes sense. That's good. Let me see. I'll call you tomorrow. So you can move 2 or 3 steps towards that 6 or 7 where people is actually going to buy. But don't waste your time on those 1 or 2s that people will never buy. And I see that a lot. So when I say sales is a process, what do I mean? Most people think of selling as the particular, okay, here it is. I want it. Give it to me. The way I see it, it has 4 stages. What's the first stage of selling? Prospecting. What are you doing when you're prospecting? You're telling people what you do, and you're asking them if they need it. When you meet anybody on the street, when you're talking with somebody, or when you are in a networking, you tell them, I'm an insurance agent. I have great prices on homeowners and car insurance. I would love to give you a quote. That is prospecting. When you purchase lead, you're already skipping that stage because people already said they want a quote. So you're not prospecting, you're just buying the lead. But that's the very first stage. When you're telling people what you do, and you're asking them if they need your product. The next one is quoting, which is the conversation, which is the gathering of information. And that's when you want to make sure you ask the right question that make people want to be dealing with you. And you get all the information. You get to know what they're looking for insurance. You get to know what they're frustrated about. And then you move on to the sales presentation. When you already know the prices, when you already know the product that you're going to offer them. This is what I normally call myself. That is the sales part. But that's the sales presentation. When you come up with an answer of those needs, of those problems, and you present solutions, and you're trying to multi-line. You're not just focused on one thing. And then at the end, it comes the closing. Closing is when you collect money and signatures, and it's the best time so you can work on referrals. And then you can also get probably good reviews and stuff like that. So those 4 stages, they're all individual, and you need to know where you are, and you need to get better at each of those and show your people to get better at each of those. What's the problem? Maybe you're not talking to enough people. Maybe when you're quoting, you're not asking the right questions. Maybe when you're asking the question, you're creating that need, that gap, that you're showing them what they don't have and what they need. Maybe when you're presenting, you're not answering those problems. You're not covering those needs. Or maybe you're not following enough to get the closing, to get the money and the signatures. So find out what you're missing and get better at all of those. Like I said at the beginning, buying, people need to make a decision, and it's very difficult for most people to make decisions. So you need to help them facilitate that. In our brains, in order to make a decision, both need to connect, the emotional and the logical. So our job is to make sure they connect. So how do you connect with the emotional part of the brain, or the emotional brain? There are 3 things that are very important. The very first thing is they need to like you. That's the emotional part, likeness. They need to feel that they trust you, they like you. But they need to like 3 things. They need to like you, they need to like the company you are presenting, and they need to like the product that you're offering. So let me show you guys what I do. In order to like you, you need to talk, and you need to be sharp. You need to be very straight point. You have to be very clear, and you need to present yourself very sharply. So what do I mean? The way you talk, including your tonality, the way you talk, the confidence that you feel when you talk, and also the way you look. Unfortunately, people pay attention to those things. So you need to look sharp so they like you. What else are they looking for? You need to be enthusiastic. You need to be happy. You need to be you got to show your emotions that you do really like what you're doing. If you're talking to somebody and the person is like, well, yeah, here's the quote, are you gonna buy it? I mean, do you really want that life policy that we talk? No? Okay, that's okay. You need to be very enthusiastic. You need to show them that you really, truly want to help them. You really, truly want them to fix that gap, that problem that they have, solve it for them. But you also need to be professional. Here's the problem when we're talking about professional. How do you show professionalism? The way you look, yeah, you need to be sharp. No super professional the way you look, because people doesn't want to talk to a banker. They want to talk to a person that want to help them. But you need to show knowledge the way you talk. Not big words that you scare people and you confuse them. And don't give them too much information. People don't care about the details of how things work. We'll talk a little bit about microwave pretty soon. But they need to know that you know. You need to show them that you know what you're talking about, knowledge through your words. But don't give them too much information that they don't need to. We'll talk a little bit about that in a second. Because so that's how they like you. Be sharp, you're knowledgeable, you're friendly, you connect, you ask the right question. How do they like the company? Well, we guys got it easy. We have one of the biggest insurance company, and you just got to say 5 or 6 things that our company is better than others. You need to show them things that they might not know about the company, how long we have been in business, how many awards we've won. But don't stick too much on that, because just the name, just people knowing the name, that's half the battle. So liking the company, that's very simple. Most people do want to do business with our company. And they need to like the product. So what I'm talking about is they need to understand what you're telling them. So don't give them too much information. So for example, on a microwave, people don't buy a microwave because they understand how microwave works. They just have a problem. I need my food warm fast. Microwave solve the problem. If you have a technician explaining you how a microwave works, you're probably not going to buy it. If you understand everything how microwaves work, you're probably not going to buy it. So don't oversell your products. Just give them the information that they need. Here's your problem, and this is what it does to fix it. People need to understand the product basic enough for them to make a decision. That's it. You are trying to make their life easier. Don't give them 100 products oh, all these products will fix that problem. Let me know which one you like. People will not do that. People is looking to solve a problem that will make their life easier. That is your job. Make their life easier. You don't have to be calling 100 places. You don't have to be doing all this stuff. Just give me your signature and credit card. I will take care of everything. This is what it does. This is the coverage. This is the deductible. This is the coverage that you didn't have before that you have covered now. Sign and give me the credit card. But some of the things that people do like when they're trying to purchase and they're trying to connect with you is they're looking for that personal level. They're looking, nobody wants to be different. People likes the social proof. So some of the things that we use when we're talking about insurance is we tell them like, hey, we got 100 products, but most of my customers decide this or this are the best for them. Which one of these two will help you better? Don't make it easy for them and show them what most of my customers, most of the other people are going for, that will help them make that decision. So most of my customers really go with this policy because, and you show them the benefits and why people go with that policy. Other things that we use also, we like to explain the customers, how things work for the company, what is the perfect product for the company that works for them. And then we try to kind of show them that we're on their side. People kind of like that adversity to authority. Hey, this is what the company wants, but let me tell you what I think you actually need. I mean, I would sell you this because this pays me better, but in your case, I'm on your side. This is what I think you should buy, and let me tell you why. And then they kind of feel like they're, you're offering something that is for them. You're not just doing what the company wants you, so you work for them, not for the company. And also people need to understand, in order for them to make that decision, they need to see a little bit of a scarcity, meaning that this offer might be good just for a limited time. Also, you are part of the 20% population that, or maybe less, maybe of the 5 or 10% population that qualifies for this policy at these prices. They need to feel they're special, not like everybody else. And when you get them to connect with them in that way, you show them you work for them. This is something that not everybody can get, but they're lucky because they are able to get it. And there's not a lot of time because the prices keep changing. Right now, this is the best you can do. And that will help them make that decision. And I think that people want you to connect more on a friendly level than a professional level. The way I explain my guys is that I feel that we need to connect with the customers like we're talking to our cousins. I love my employees to sell to people like I would like somebody to sell to my mom. I want them to explain them so she understands, do the best for her, and care for her needs. When you ask questions when you're selling, make sure you're listening, not just going question by question and moving on through the application. Make sure you have a conversation and then listen to the people, get to know them. The more you connect with them on that personal level, the easier it will be for you to offer them things and for them to agree to purchase it.